And Congressman, 2020 was easily the craziest year most of us have ever experienced. And 2021 isn't looking too different. You, of all people, easily one of the most restrained and rule of law people I know, is being accused of participating in an insurrection. The Republicans did exactly what Democrats have done every time a Republican president is elected, and yet here you are on the verge of a new liberal administration with crosshairs on your back.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's kind of wacky, but we had a constitutional and a statutory right to bring those objections. We did bring objections to the floor. We had the debate. I actually brought in stacks and stacks of evidence to support my position, and somehow, if Republicans do it, it's seditious, it's traitorous, and a bunch of other things they said that day. And by the way, James T., while they were saying that to us, they'd always start their statement off by saying, "We need to unify," and then they would call us these names, and that's we were doing what they have done, and we were just castigated for doing that, and still are. I mean, they're threatening us with DOJ investigations, blah blah blah.
Well, the thing is we haven't seen the DOJ really, in my opinion, do their job. The FBI have definitely not been doing their job. So it wouldn't surprise me that they are making those type of threats. What I concerned about is that they'll follow through on them as part of the Biden agenda. Let's talk about the Biden agenda. What can we expect in the first 100 days of a Biden presidency?
Well, job one for them is to open the borders up. So they're already talking. By the way, one of the guys who made the statement here is the dude from the Mi Familia Vota. They're the guys that sued to extend Arizona's voter registration deadline past the actually legislatively mandated. But anyway, back to Biden. What they're going to do is they're going to give amnesty for between 10 and 25 million people, a path to citizenship in 8 years. They're going to do most of this by executive order. And you just go on with this thing. They're redefining what an essential worker is. So we had retail people and stuff were all closed down during the COVID, but they're going to expand that definition to include anybody who worked in retail who was illegally in the country. They're going to get these special benefits to boot. That's just on the immigration side. Then he's going to cancel the Keystone Pipeline permit, and that's going to kill thousands of jobs. It's going to make us energy dependent again, which is going to actually impede our economy from recovering. Then he's going to join the Paris Climate Accord. He's going to rejoin the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. He's going to open up to immigration nations that even Obama administration had put on the terror watch list. They're going to stop student loan repayments. They're going to put another $2 trillion COVID package together in the first week. I mean, this is pedal to the metal, hard left turn for the United States of America.
We have Congressman Andy Biggs in the center ring of the conservative circus. You know what, Congressman? Even though I think I think the Republic is in peril. I think even though this is craziness, in my opinion, this is madness, I got to hand it to the Democrats for taking full advantage of their power. We didn't do this. We had President Trump, we had the House, we had the Senate, and we had half the party trying to sabotage President Trump because they didn't like the fact that he was not part of the club, that he didn't come from the club. We squandered such incredible opportunity to really, to lock in the greatness of this country, the exceptionalism of this country. We squandered it. And now the list that you just rattled off is so damn depressing as to be. My eyes are watering up, Congressman. Congressman Biggs. My eyes are watering, because they're not going to waste any time. They're going to go for it.
No, that's exactly right. And we did blow it too. In 2017, we blew it. I remember we'd all campaigned, for instance, on a repeal of Obamacare. Well, then they come in, and our speaker at the time, whose name should be nameless, says, "Oh, we're not going to do that. We're going to come up with some kind of crazy plan here." And these people bought onto it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. For 60 times they voted for a straight repeal when it didn't matter. Now that we could do it, and the president said he'd sign it, they wouldn't give us a straight repeal. And I told them I wouldn't vote for any of their garbage until I had a chance to vote for a straight repeal. And so they put a garbage bill up there, and guess what? There was 2 of us that voted no. 3 of us, I should say. 3 of us voted no. And what the Democrats are doing, or what I had anticipated we should have done in 2017, which is we go pedal to the metal. We get the MAGA agenda, the America First agenda that we all had campaigned on, and you get that done in a year. And guess what? We don't lose the House in 2018. We gain it. But the Democrats are going to also, James, I didn't even mention this, they're going to reintroduce their H.R. 1, which is the election control bill, I call it. They want to federalize elections. They want to have control. They want to give ballot harvesting becomes legal. They go mail-in, nationwide mandatory mail-in ballots. They prohibit or severely restrict cleaning up voter rolls. And that's because they believe that plus the open border stuff is going to give them basically a generation of Democrats who will vote nobody but Democrats.
It also kind of does away with the electoral college as well. I mean, they promise that as well. Congressman, I have to ask you this because it's kind of crazy. As we're watching this, they're setting it up to where you're going to have one party rule for the rest of this country's history. At this stage of the game, are there any Republicans on the Hill that actually realize what's going on and what they've allowed to happen?
Yeah, there is. The problem is we're in the minority even among the Republican conference. I think there's probably a good 100 or so that understand pretty clearly what's about to happen. Then you have the 30 or 40, 50 of them that they're just happy to be there or anywhere. And we have a chance to go back to, I don't know if you remember this, but in our history, we went 40 years where the Democrats controlled the United States House of Representatives, 40 years. That was not good for this country. It's what put us on a long slide. And these are not any average Democrats. These are hard left socialist Democrats. And so we're going to have to fight this out. And believe me, I'm spending much of my time talking to my colleagues about fixing this up. But I mean, we're still dealing with the fact that the chair of the Republican conference made a statement last week before she voted for impeachment. That was her business whether she was going to vote for impeachment. But the statement, when she's the chair of the conference, saying that this president had engaged in more traitorous conduct, outrageous traitorous conduct than any president in history, that has got to stop.